Welcome back to the channel, guys. Happy to show you today this very beautiful 2024 Cayenne that we're gonna do an oil change. And this is brand new car technically, and it's got 734 miles, as you can see. Yeah, and we're gonna do the break-in 500 mile. It should have been 500, but it's all right. 700. We're still gonna do it, and very beautiful. I'm happy to show you here today 2024 Porsche Cayenne. This is the base version, I believe, and we're doing a break-in oil change at 500 miles. Of course, the first thing you got to do is you got to get to the engine or the oil pan. So first things first, you got to take this. There are two bolts here, that T30 right here in the middle, but everything around is, what is this? Everything around should be T25. So all these bolts in there, I mean, it's a forest of bolts right here. So T25 all the way around, and two T30s. Once we get to this, holy and behold, the oil pan, and I just was trying which Torx bit we're gonna have here, and it's actually a T45, and this is standard, kind of a Audi type of a deal with a drain plug from Audi where they have the Torx. So you just kind of start it up and you drain the oil, and this is gonna make a little bit of a mess, so you always got to be prepared for this. Again, T45, it may give you a little bit of trouble when you open this. That's why I used a bigger. I ended up using a bigger handlebar, and we need to open this completely because otherwise we're not going to be able to drain this properly. And the oil is hot. Just a little bit more. There we go. Again, that's a 500 mile break-in oil change. This is a brand new car, and I advise the customer to avoid the 10,000 mile oil change for numerous reasons. YouTube and Google, you can Google this. A lot of shops and mechanics have complained about the 10,000 mile oil changes, and I will never do those changes at 5 or at 10,000. The maximum I recommend is 5. But this is a new engine, brand new car. This customer is a friend of mine, and they want to keep this engine tip-top condition. So we're doing 500. So we're going to do it 500, 1500, 3000, then 5000, and then after the 5000 we're going to keep going with 5000 or 5000 mile oil changes. Even though this oil may look good to you, I have done this many times before. I've had a few brand new cars and I've done this, and I have seen a tremendous difference when you do the break-in procedure with oil changes on these small amounts in the beginning. So I'm gonna let it drain. So guys, wanted to show you, this oil is 500 miles, factory oil, brand new oil, full with pearls. I mean, look at this. You guys are expecting to drive on this oil for 10,000 miles? That's 500 miles. Look at the river of pearls. That's metal particles from that new engine. That's how people destroy their engines, because they don't do the oil change, or they drive with the factory because the factory tells them, oh, you can go 10,000 miles. Look at the river of pearls here. Look at that stuff. Woo! That's 500 miles right here. So that's the reason why we're going to clean this engine and make it run perfectly. And we're about to close this drain plug because it's almost ready to be closed. Okay guys, we're back here. Oil is out. So guys, you need to pay attention to the oil drain plug because it does have a seal. It's a copper seal right here. The original one that came from the factory. It's this one here. It's actually an aluminum one, and it's kind of smashed up, as you can see. So we're going to replace this with a copper one. That's a 14 millimeter seal, and it will fit perfectly in here. And that's you just put it in here, and then you get it back into the oil pan. I'm going to close this up, and I don't have torque specification on this, so I'm going to use my discretion of my torque. I would say maybe 30 to 40 Newton meters to close this. And okay, that should be enough. I don't think it's gonna come out anytime soon anyway. Well, we're gonna do the oil change at 1500 miles. And the next thing would be we need to find the oil filter on this V6 engine. And I just set the car down. I do need to put the cover back in, but I'll do this last. Next thing is we need to change the oil filter. The oil filter is right there. So we're gonna get this thing out and then trying to get to this filter. You gotta open the, come on. I need to open the, oil filter cap, and in order to remove this, you have to pull these tabs here, these metal tabs here. That's one. And then you have to pull this second one here. That will release this cover for the air filter housing. In order to get, we're gonna have to remove this cap. And oh boy, so we got a bunch of stuff here going on. We need to get all of this stuff out. So in order to lift this up here, we can lift this up, but we have a connector here, so this connector has to be open, and that's a 7 millimeter. So okay, this is released. We can push these forward here. Okay, that is rubber that needs to come out. And there we go. So I mean, this is crazy setup, and we need to pull it forward, and we're gonna have this here, you have to pull it up, and there's a clip right here that you have to clip and pull up, and here we go. And that is really not a good thing here, because we're sitting right at the exhaust turbo and the exhaust. Yeah, that's a crazy setup. So here's the oil filter right here, and we need to get to it to get it out. I'm hoping that I don't have to. No, it'll come out. It'll come out through there. So I just need to get, I think it's a 27 or 30 millimeter deep socket. Okay guys, this is a 32 millimeter, and we're gonna open this here.
Yeah, supercharger or air induction.
No, that's the exhaust. Yeah, that's the turbo right here. That's the exhaust. Yeah. Okay guys, I'm gonna pull the filter out. And I gotta tell you, this is a very tight place here. It barely comes out, and this is the filter. It looks kind of new, but when you saw the metal particles. So now we're gonna change the filter with the new one. So this is what we got today. It's a OEM Volkswagen filter for this car. Of course, you gotta call the dealer in order to get yours and to know that this is specifically for your car. It's made in France. OEM, this is Volkswagen AAG, yeah, that's OEM filter. So here we go, and we gotta replace this seal here. And we have the seal and the box, and there we go. Make sure it's in the correct place here in the groove. And now we're gonna install it back. Should be 25 Newton meters. Yeah, these are always 25 Newton meters torque. I mean, it's kind of tight, but it'll still go in. And same deal with the 32 millimeter. .25 Newton meters, and now we need to put that box back in here again. This is their filter box actually for the engine, if you guys didn't realize this. And you got to make sure this goes into this air guide here. Okay guys, when you install this back, make sure that these two align with these two here. As you can see, the rubber mounts here so they have to go straight in there, otherwise this will not fit. Okay, I would advise you to actually use grease on those to get it in straight. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grease them up a little bit. So I'm going to use some grease here. On both of these. Okay. Oh, much easier. Yes, sir. And I'm gonna use some grease a little bit on this thing here. Just a little bit on this guide. And we're gonna need to install this in. Need to pull these rubbers in. And of course we need to get the so these are the guides right here also, guys. One on each side here, one here, one there, one there. Yeah, we need to push down while guiding this inside too. Okay, one went in, the other one went, oops. See, the problem is we need to also grease these too. Or otherwise they're not gonna go through either. Okay. I wanna grease these too. Here we go. And here we go. And now we can push these guides inside here. They have to go all the way in and clip. And don't forget that you have to lift this up here. You gotta lift this up and tight this bolt here. And I'm using a 7mm to tie it. So guys, this is in such a tight place that I gotta use a small wrench or small ratchet, because this just, it's not, I will say this is not made to be, or it's not made to be done easy. I'm sorry, Porsche, but this is crazy. Why would you do this right here in such a messed up way? And there is no space to even put a ratchet in there. Yep, 7mm ratchet. So okay, so now I'm gonna install this, but we have these rubber mounts here and they were giving me trouble, of course, when we were taking this out. So I'm gonna grease these up before I can close the cap. So whatever you guys see these little rubber mounts, we're gonna put grease on these. Looks like we don't have the rubber mounts back there for some reason. The two on the rear, there are two in the front here. Okay, so that should be okay. And I already smudged all of these here. You see we have grease, and I'm gonna install this. Okay, you're gonna have to use these edges at the rear. This has to go down and then go back before it's actually installed. Right here. There we go. So you have to make sure right there that it falls in and then it goes into the groove, otherwise this will not lock in straight, because it has a locking edge. And then here, well, oh sorry, I forgot this clip or this oil guide, but it's easy to install right there. You just kind of put it in the slots and this is in, and don't forget to clip these. They're kind of funky, but right here, these two, and this here is good, so everything is fine. And now we just need to install the oil, and that's it. So guys, this is what we're gonna use today. The oil for this car is 020 Top Tech Liquid Moly, very highly recommended, and this follows the Porsche C20 standard that you can see. I'm gonna put 7.6 liters or 8 quarts, that's what is the quantity, and that's the oil. And once you fill it in, we're not gonna reset the oil light because remember this is 500-mile oil change. So I'm gonna keep going with the 1500, 3000, 5000, but as you can see, this is the oil change. That's the oil I recommend using for this car, and 5,000 miles, that's what normally that's where it's supposed to change it. So this is the whole video, and that's the oil change on this car. In some of the next videos I'm gonna find out how to reset the oil light, but for now I'm not going to do it because I don't need it anyway. But this is the oil change if you want to do it yourself. And again, thanks for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed these videos. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see you in the next one.